welcome back to our podcast. My name is Fitri Ayu Raras Utami. I'm not alone. I'm with.
I'm Ayu Febrianti. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're doing well wherever you're listening from.
Maybe you're listening while communicating to campus, take a break for assessment, or just relaxing after a long day. Whatever you're doing, we're really happy to have you here.
Okay, today we're going to discuss a topic that sounds quite serious, but is actually very close to our daily life, especially a student of economic development.
That's right. Our topic today is regional development inequality in Indonesia.
Sometimes when people hear the word inequality, they immediately think about income difference, but regional inequality is much broader than that.
Exactly. It's effect where people choose to study, where companies decide to invest, and even the opportunity people have simply because of where they were born.
So, in today's episode, we'll talk about the regional development inequality means, why it happens, its impacts, and what Indonesia can do to reduce these disparities.
Hopefully, by the end of discussion, we'll all understand that development is not just about economic growth, it's also about fairness and equal opportunities.
Okay, Fitri, let's start with a simple question. What exactly is regional development inequality?
In simple terms, regional development inequality refers to this difference in development between one region and another. This difference can be seen in income level, infrastructure quality, education access, healthcare service, and employment opportunities.
So, it's not just about which region is richer.
Exactly, Ayo. It's also about access. For example, some people can easily reach a university hospital, public transportation, while others have to travel long distance just to access to same service.
That's a really important point because sometimes we assume everyone has the same opportunities. In reality, where you live can significantly influence your quality of life and future prospects.
And that's why regional inequality has become one of the major concerns in development economy.
When discussing this issue in Indonesia, I think many people immediately think about the gap between Java and regions outside the Java.
Honestly, I do too. Java has become the center of many activity, including government, institution, industry, university, and business headquarters.
Hey, the cities like Jakarta, Surabaya, Bandung, and Yogyakarta attract many people because they offer better facilities and more opportunities.
That's right. Meanwhile, some regions outside Java still face challenges such as limited infrastructure, fewer education facility, and restricted access to healthcare.
What's interesting is that many of these regions actually have incredible natural resources and economic potential.
Exactly. Some regions are rich in mining research, others excel in agriculture, agriculture, or tourism, so the issue is not necessarily a lack of potential.
The challenge is making sure those resources can be managed effectively through adequate infrastructure, investment, and skilled human resources. Right. In your opinion, Fitri, what is the biggest cause of regional inequality?
Personally, I would say infrastructure because like road, bridge, port, electricity, and internet access affect almost every aspect of economic activity.
That's true. We often take those things for granted because we use them every day without thinking about it.
Exactly, Ayu. But imagine trying to run a business in an area with damaged road or unstable electricity. Transportation become more expensive, production slow down, and business become less competitive.
Regions with the better infrastructure naturally become more attractive to business and investors because operations can run more efficiently.
Meanwhile, regions with poor infrastructure may struggle to keep up even if they have great potential.
Another important factor behind regional inequality is the concentration of investment. I think this is something people don't always notice, even though its impact is huge.
That's true, Ayu. Investors generally want to minimize risk and maximal profit, they tend to choose regions that already have good infrastructure, stable electricity, large market, and skilled workers.
Which explain why major cities continue attracting more investment. More companies open plants there, more factories are built, and more jobs become available.
Exactly, Ayu. The problem is that this creates a cycle. Development regions continue growing because they keep receiving investment, while these development regions struggle to attract investors.
Maybe it's almost like the rich get richer situation. Regions that already have advantage gain even more advantage over time.
And it's not because other regions lack potential. Sometimes investors simply consider them too risky or too expensive due to limited supporting facilities.
That's why the government intervention is important. Policies that encourage investment or that major economic sectors can help distribute opportunities more evenly.
Because ideally, investment should not only benefit regions that are already developed, it should also become a driving force for growth in regions that are still catching up.
I also think education plays a major role in this issue.
I completely agree, Ayu. Human capital refers to people's knowledge, skill, education, and health.
Regions that gather schools and universities will produce a more skilled workforce.
And companies often prefer areas where qualified employment are available. It makes recruitment easier and improve productivity.
Me, as a student, I think we can relate to this. Many people move to bigger cities because they believe they receive better educational opportunities.
Exactly, Ayu. That's why investing in education is not only about improving academic achievement, it's also about preparing people to contribute to regional development, Ayu.
Okay, Fitri, I think we also can't ignore Indonesia's geography.
Definitely, I agree. Indonesia consists of thousands of islands, and that's great logistic challenge.
Like transportation costs can be much higher, especially in remote areas that are far from major economic centers.
Building infrastructure and providing public service across different islands requires significant resource and planning.
As a result, some regions naturally develop more slowly than others.
Okay, Ayu. Let's move on to the impact. One of this impact is income disparity.
People in more developed regions generally have access to better paying jobs and higher living standards.
Meanwhile, people in less developed regions might have fewer opportunities and lower wage.
Over time, this difference can influence people's welfare and overall quality of life. Another impact that I think many of us can relate to is migration.
That's true. Many students leave their hometowns to study in bigger cities because they believe they will have better opportunities there.
And after graduation, some decide to stay because that's where the jobs are.
Okay, Ayu. Migration itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It helps some people improve their life and expand their experience.
But anxiety urbanization can also create new problems such as traffic congestion, overcrowding, rising living costs, and pressure on public service.
It can also lead to brain drain where talented individuals leave their hometowns and contribute their skill elsewhere.
I think regional inequality can also contribute to poverty.
Mm, Community with limited access to service and opportunity often find it harder to improve their economic condition.
And actually, the impact isn't limited to the region alone.
Exactly, Ayu. When some regions are left behind, Indonesia cannot fully utilize in economic potential.
Every region has strengths that can contribute to national growth if developed properly. So, fortunately, the government has implemented several programs to address the issue.
Okay, one major effort in infrastructure development outside Java, including road, bridge, port, airport, and digital infrastructure.
There's also fiscal decentralization, which gives local governments more authority and financial resources to manage development according to local needs.
Okay, the government has also established special economic zones to attract investment outside major economic centers.
Of course, Fitri, these policies may not solve everything overnight, but they are important steps toward reducing regional disparities.
Even though progress has been made, there's still a lot of work to do.
I very agree with you, Fitri. Infrastructure development should continue, especially in remote and underdeveloped areas.
I also believe improving education and skill training is essential because people are not one of the most valuable assets in development.
The local government should focus on industry based on the regional strengths, whether it's tourism, agriculture, fisheries, or manufacturing.
And cooperation between the central government, local government, business, and community is crucial.
Because reducing inequality isn't the responsibility of one part alone. It requires collaboration for everyone. So Fitri,
Yeah.
what's the biggest lesson you learned from today's discussion?
Especially for me, the biggest reason is that economic growth alone is not enough. Development should create equal opportunity for everyone regardless of where they live.
I completely agree. Reducing regional inequality is important not only for improving welfare, but also for achieving sustainable and inclusive growth.
Okay, today we've discussed that regional development inequality in Indonesia is influenced by unequal infrastructure, concentrated investment, different in human capital, and geographic challenge.
We also explore its impacts, including income disparities, migration, poverty, and slower national economic growth.
That's right. Hopefully, with continued effort in infrastructure development, education, and regional empowerment, Indonesia can move toward more balanced development.
Because every region has potential and no region shall be left behind.
Okay, thank you so much for listening our podcast today.
We hope this discussion has helped you better understand the issue of regional development and equality in Indonesia.
Okay, guys, my name is Fitri Ayura Sutami
And
and
I'm Ayu Febrianti.
see you in the next episode. Goodbye and thank you for listening. Bye bye.